the incredible abilities and achievements of the disabled throughout Jamaica. Through our extraordinary talent exposure, mentoring, and uplifting corner, with your host Tracy-Ann Williams and the radical Robert Blake. This and every Monday at 5 to 6 p.m. on 491.7 FM. Call us at 876-610-8104. That's 876-610-8104. Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers.
Purchase your tracks today.
You're listening to Moore FM 91.7 on your dial.
Welcome. And guess what? It's a brand new month, and we are in the month of August. And we do know a lot of exciting things are happening and going for our beautiful country. I'm going to call it Jamaica, the beautiful island on the rock in the Caribbean. And of course, just if in case you are just joining us for the first time, you are live with us on More 91.7, where we drive strong community energy. And of course, this is your show that normally comes on every week at the same time, called Disability Beyond Border. And of
That's
course, this
right,
is where we
Mr.
highlight
Blake.
what's happening.
Yes. What do you want to highlight this week, Mr. Blake? Because there's so much happening. What do you want to start off with?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Since we were all emancipated
From
in the beautiful
mental?
month of
Yeah.
August, and I believe in freedom. Yes, man. And I'm sure we have a well known legend, and I'm going to refer to him as, I'm going to give him that title, Honorable Robert Nestor Marley. But in shortening, let me call him Bob Marley, for those who might not know his correct name. And of course, I remember a song that he did some many years ago. He said, "Free your mind from mental slavery." And he said, none of us, doesn't matter who. But you know what I really appreciate about our heroes and our journey, our 50 had or so years ago, that we have started right here in Jamaica and been able to gain independence. All those who have gone before us, they have set the trend. And we on here now, we're living, has to carry on the legacy so we maintain our freedom, but not only being free, but also being independent. So, of course, August the 1st is already gone. And of course, August the 6th is going to be this Thursday. And to the best of my knowledge, I'm very civic somewhat. And I believe in being loyal also to my country and my countrymen. And truth to be told, we will be celebrating right here in Montego Bay, St. James, Jamaica, and its environment, Independence Day. And of course, I'm quite sure that something will be happening right here in Sharp Square. I'm sure they'll be having something called award ceremony. And of course, this is where you comes out and see the uniform groups. They will perform. And of course, not only just the uniform group, but we will have our counselors and different persons who have also in their own way becomes hero and has helped to contribute somewhat to the beautiful country of Jamaica. So a lot of award will be given out on August the 6th, right here at Shamshab Square in St. James, Montego Bay, to be exact. So we're inviting everyone, please come on out and give the support. Let's see if a friend of yours, somebody that you might know, that might also be getting an award. And I'm quite sure it will be broadcasting live. So please, if you're not able to come, which would be better if you're there, because sometimes your presence does says a lot versus if you stay home and just listen to it virtually or watched it. we really want to welcome you to come out for Independence Day. But let's see if we're able to catch up with our doctor, of course, and see what she has to say for us for this wonderful month. And we do know that Ministry of Health normally says your health is your wealth. And guess what? At the end of the day, truth to be told, you and I are responsible for whatever we do in terms of our body. So let's see if we're able to connect with our doctor and what she might have to share with us this afternoon. Good evening, Doc.
But Mr. Blake, before we connect with Doug, just want to inform our listeners that
Yes.
Jamaica 64 theme is United in Celebrating Resilience.
I like that team. We're so
United
united
in
in
celebrating
celebrated with
resilience.
resilience.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So all parishes will be having information, and all parishes will be having civic ceremony and flag raising events and all different
Right.
cultural events. But you know
Awesome.
what? I love to pull Dr. Betton's leg and ask her what's happening in her side of town as it relates to the festivities and the independence activities.
Right.
So, Dr. Betton, will you be going to the gala?
Hi, Doc. Will you be going to the gala? All right, we're not hearing Doc yet.
Dr. Betton, are you there?
Good evening, Doc. Can you hear us? All right, we're still trying to connect live with Doc. Just bear with us for a minute or so as we connect. But again, we're just saying to you, wherever you are, whichever side of the world you are, once you're in Jamaica and its environed, we are open just to be on the safe side that other parishes will be having, as it's been said, the flags raising ceremony, the celebration of award, and different things will be happening. Good evening, Doc. All right, still trying to see if we're able to connect to our doctor. But just in case you're just joining us on Disability Beyond Border, again, this is a program that what we do, just in a nutshell, we educate, we empower, and we also entertain. So, best of all, we want you to have knowledge because, again, it's always said that knowledge is power. Good evening, Doc.
All right, we're going to try to connect with Doc a little later on.
Absolutely.
And then we'll definitely come back to you to hear much more about what's happening on her side of town. All right?
Absolutely,
Catch you
yes.
in a few.
All right.
You're listening to More FM 91.7 on your dial.
Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers through the power of inclusion. We highlight the incredible abilities and achievements of the disabled throughout Jamaica through our extraordinary talent exposure, mentoring, and uplifting corner with your host Tracy-Ann Williams and the radical Robert Blake. This and every Monday at 5 to 6 p.m. on More 91.7 FM. Call us at 876-610-8104. That's 876-610-8104. Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers.
Welcome back to Disability Beyond Borders. We should be having Dr. Betton online and on air. Are you hearing us, Doc?
I am hearing you loud and clear.
Awesome.
We Doc, we were just wondering where we should locate you on August 6th.
Right.
Well,
Yes.
August 6th, I'm going to be in the parish of St. Ann. That's the parish where I grew up.
Oh,
And
wow.
usually, all the parish centers have their different activities.
Absolutely.
So in St. Anne's Bay, there'll be a concert in the afternoon. I'm based in Kingston for work. So in the morning, everything is King's House for the ceremony that's going to go on there for Independence Day. So there's whole heap of activities going on all over. Of course, the JCDC has activities every day, and there's going to be the Grand Gala.
There you go.
Oh, so that's where. So, which of the performances we should look out for to see
Right.
you in, Dr. Betton?
Well,
Well,
the thing is that I am not performing this year.
okay.
Oh, can we be?
However,
We'll be cheering you
the
on.
Grand Gala is going to be on Thursday, right? And
Yes.
the tickets are for anybody who wants to come into Kingston and get it. But there's whole heap of activities going on, including a free bingo night, admission free bingo night and domino tournament that is going to be held at the National Stadium complex on the 5th.
That sound
So
like
there's
your thing,
whole
Mr.
heap of
Blake.
activities going on.
Okay.
And over the weekend, last night was the gospel competition. Did you watch the wonderful performances?
No, well, I didn't get to watch it because of competition, but we had in Western Jamaica, we had a gospel fest, and it was a worship experience, right in Sam
Right.
Sharp
It was very
Square.
much awesome.
Yeah.
We call ours Jerk Fest.
No, no, they have Jerk Fest on Saturday, but
Oh
last
yes,
night
yes, yes.
we
At the
had
parade.
Gospel
That's true.
Fest.
Right.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Right. We had our event last night, Sunday night. That's true.
Okay, and
So we block off our parade.
they're gonna have Soul Tuesday at Independence Village, which is at Stadium Complex.
Mm-hmm.
That is tomorrow night. But there is an activity tonight. I am not 100% sure. I'm trying to find because there's so many things going on. But I know every parish is gonna have their own kind of grand gala
Yes, that is
celebration
true.
at
Right.
their town centers, right?
Right, right.
Yes.
That is true. That is true.
And I'm sure the city of Mobile has set up something.
Oh
Yes.
So
yes.
we have to remember that in everything, crowd control, and in everything when we're heading out, we have
Right.
to make sure we hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Mm.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that people are going to be heading out from
Right.
early in the days, and the sun is relentless. So everybody should be walking with their at least a 1.5 liter bottle per adult. You understand?
Right.
Cool, have
Water.
them cool water. Have the and we don't need the sodas or the juices at this point. We will
No,
leave
not
that
at
at
all.
home because water is necessary. I would encourage everybody to hydrate as much as possible. It is
Right. That
so
is true.
important. It is so important to hydrate as much as possible because the heat is coming for us, and I found that you have to be very very careful, about
Right.
getting dehydrated, right?
Well, not only just the water, but what about being able to sanitize yourself and probably have a mask, just if in case you want to sneeze or, anything like that, just to
Yes,
prevent, because you might be in a very,
yes,
thick crowd somewhat, and then, you
yes,
don't want to necessarily offend someone.
yes, for true. And of course, because it's so dry, we have a lot of dust being stirred up with the wind. Oh, dry and dusty. So, as usual, protecting our upper airway, wearing masks if necessary, carrying a rag to cover your mouth. And if you
Right.
have allergy or asthma, take your medication.
Absolutely. But Doc, is there anything for this wonderful month? As we know, we're in the holiday, the festive season where we emancipate, we celebrate freedom and then independence. Is there anything though on the Ministry of Health website for starting this month of August that we can look forward to or be mindful of as we celebrate our health too? Because health is wealth.
As well. So right now, we thinking about things like that the ministry is currently working on basically doing the general health promotions. We
Right.
just ended Nurses Week, right?
Yes.
And all the and the ceremonies around Nurses Week, and different regions have had their different award ceremonies
Right.
in the summer, closing off over the weekend. They've been opening up certain health centers And even at Denby, there was a lot of health promotion at Denby. I imagine you guys were not able to get out there for Denby. So they did a promotion. You have to think about the National Council for on drug abuse was out there, discouraging, use of illegal substances and explaining the risks involved of taking them. Also, we have a lot of Ministry of Health and Wellness was out at Dream Weekend with a booth with giving out supplies, talking about safe sex, giving out condoms, and doing rapid HIV tests at the parties. Can you imagine that?
Yep. It's a
Just have to
lot.
do what it gotta do
Yep, absolutely.
just to preserve the nation and the next
Right.
generation.
And try to be safe at the same time while we
Yeah.
continue. And it's about resilience, right?
Yes, it is about resilience. So
Right.
if
And
you
some of us
see,
has gone through Melissa
there are
and Beryl, and the list goes on in different
yes,
ways.
we are in the hurricane season. We are in the hurricane season, and what are some of the health things that you know that you must do in the hurricane season?
You were asking a
What
question,
are the
Doc.
things
Some
that
of
you
the
should
things
do?
that we're
Yes,
not
I
supposed
asked
to
you to
do.
remember because everybody should know it by heart. What are the things that you should have ready because it's the hurricane season?
Well, flashlight must be a must. All your medications must be a must. Have
That's what I
everything
said.
put to
You need
one
your
place.
medication.
Your
So you
water
should
is a
always
must, because
have
water get
over
contaminated quick and fast,
over
especially if
about
it's not
over
sealed.
2 weeks supply of your
Right.
medication. So you must make sure that you have your medication filled.
Yes.
So especially like how we have the holiday weekend coming up. Everybody should look at their prescription and try and fill it before Thursday so
True.
that you have your medication 2 weeks because the way how this is unpredictable with these hot summers is that a storm system can come in as quickly as within a week.
Yep.
And then when you get caught up going to the supermarket, you forgot that your medication is out
Absolutely.
of stock. Another thing is that have your health information, your passport, birth certificates, all of them should be in plastic containers. I am
Right.
so disappointed to hear that person say, I lost my documents, I lost my documents. And one of the first things you hear is that you're supposed to have them in a watertight container. You understand? And a
Absolutely.
safe
Right.
location. So unless you lose the entire home, you understand? You
Yes.
should be able to locate even if rain falls, water gets into the house, you should be able
Right.
to get your documents, your prescriptions, and
Well, I
so
know
forth.
some of us in some communities on this side of the island were affected like that during Melissa due to the overflow of water within two adjoining community. I think that goes by the name of West Green and
Yes,
Catherine Hall. And this is where you have like, prominent business like the stadium locate. Rather is
yes,
also on that side. Grand Depot is also on that side. Megamart, JN, Island Grill, and couple other businesses that are on that side, they too were also affected, and a lot of them would have really lost their document, not because so much of the water that comes in, but a lot of them had to just been throwing out stuff, especially even if you had, really put it up real properly and careful enough, the truth to be told, because of the level of water and what they had experienced along with different types of debris
that
plus
is
grease.
why I would encourage that it's in a watertight container. So then you put
Right.
it in a sealable bag,
Well,
double
what about
seal the
what we call
bag,
a
tie
Ziploc
another
kind
bag
of
over
bag?
it. So even if mud land on it, your documents are secure.
Right, right,
So you should always know where that is and be able to grab that package if you have to evacuate.
right. Absolutely. Well, sometime, Doc, I think in the
Because
case with
sometimes we
Melissa,
do business, we're doing especially with school, you're enrolling the children into school, so you
right,
have the children's documents all over the place. Now it's time to consolidate and put them in the waterproof container in the top drawer or at the
right,
top of the cupboard where you get to grab it if anything. One location. It should be all packed up I would recommend that highly because I imagine some person had to reapply for birth certificates and passports and all of that during the course of the year. And now we're coming up to the 1 year anniversary, and we cannot relax until the hurricane season ends at the end of October.
That is
Because the
true.
last hurricane came on the 27th of October, so we have to wait all the way to the end of October to feel safe again.
Well, and
And it's been quiet so far, but we
right.
might have a late season, so we always have to look out for that.
Right, but one of my concern though, Doc, I overheard on another radio station sometime this morning where the minister that has to do with water or whoever is in charge of the water that we're having some issues with water shortages somewhat. That is a concern of mine, and our rivers that we could somewhat depend on in terms of water. We're also not getting enough flow of waters from the rivers. That kind of somewhat call for somewhat concern, especially during this time where it becomes a lot more, hot, heated, and all of that. And then water, or a wonderful country or island, is made up of food and water. And if we're having a shortage now of water, that they have to rotate where we get water next, depending on what's happening, it's a serious concern. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't comes over into our drinking water that we have to do.
Yeah. So water conservation is key. I
Yes.
mean, we grow up and always see the rivers running, but when we have extended heat periods like this, drought is definitely possible. So it's not only that we should make sure we have our tanks, but we should also conserve our usage. It is in the summer right now. It's not the time to be washing the car with the hose. You understand? Or washing down the garage or the driveway or the side of the house because you feel like it got too dusty. No, we're gonna grab the bucket and we're gonna conserve on how much water we use to clean the cars. You
Right.
know, in these dry times until the rains come back and the reservoirs and the rivers fill up back. So the water cycle will always help us, but the more that we have, things are going into the atmosphere right now with all of this heat, and we're not having enough precipitation. We have to be so careful about our use
Absolutely.
of water. And now we're saying, okay, the water in the pipe is turned off, and most times the water comes from a treatment plant. So it's chlorinated. It's potable water. It's safe for drinking in general. But let's say the water has been turned off because of water restriction. Just
Right.
because you see a river looking nice and clear, you don't know where it originates from. You don't know who up on the stream might be having animals pass in the water, or they're using the water for their bathing. But when it comes down to you, you don't see any sign that anybody bathed above, and but the water is contaminated. So when you collect water, you should always use your water cleansing process for boiling it or administering the appropriate amount of chlorine to sanitize the water. So water safety is important also.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
I
we are
believe that
as
the Bahamas
right.
had donated a desalination plant and they had installed it in Falmouth, and they had put up like four pipes that they reclaimed the water from the sea and cleaned it and was able to extract drinkable water or potable water, fresh water from the sea. I don't know if that is still up, but that is in the western region. And so we have options when smaller Caribbean islands that don't have rivers like we do, they use things like desalination plants. So it's just about investing in new technology. The government is looking into that, but we have to play our part. We cannot pretend like we have an endless source of water. We have to preserve it and make sure that our water sources are not contaminated or overused.
Absolutely. And even when we catch our own sets of water in whatever means, we also need to also apply, the chlorine or whatever, whether it's the powdered one are the one that is already processed just for our own sake. Because sometimes, again, not all the rivers and spring and whatever we may call it that we get our water from is sometimes treated. And because of that, please, as we caution you, be very careful as to where you get water, and you definitely just go ahead and consuming it without making sure that it's processed and it's clean and it's okay for drinking purpose. But anyway, Doc, anything else new, anything else that is buzzing that we can be mindful of?
No, nothing else. Nothing else now. At this moment, I just want to wish everybody a happy independence. Jamaica 64. It's such a wonderful place to be independent. And 64, I know we take for granted our independence,
Right,
but our independence has made us a lot of things that we have getting in Jamaica, we take for granted. Our freedom of speech, our access to education, our access to water, our access to electricity. A lot of these things, there are many countries that these basic needs are not
right.
provided to majority of the communities. And to know that in Jamaica, after 64 years of independence, we are living a higher standard and quality
Yes.
of life. No matter which party is in power, we have gone far. We have developed our education system is producing some of the best. Our sporting system is producing some of the best.
Right.
So we know that if anybody is not achieving the best, they have to look back to their home. What is lacking? Where is the misdirection happening? Because if people can achieve and do the best, that means everyone can do it too. So we want
Absolutely.
to support each other. And when we work together within communities and support each other, it goes a long way. Community groups communicate with the councillors, who in turn communicate with the MPs and improve each community. When people speak up, things happen. Shouldn't say, oh, garbage is never collected. Write letters, complain. There is a representative that is responsible for every area. We should speak up in the proper channels and get our communities fixed one by one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Doc. But how can persons reach you for those who
Okay, as
might be listening?
always, I am located at 8 Shortwood Road, Kingston 8. I'm at Safe Care Medical, and or that's in near or Constant Spring Road in Kingston. And my you can find me if you can just go on Google and put in Dr. Mala the first name Mala, and last name Beton, Betton. So you can bet on me.
Me.
Bet on me. Betton.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Doc. And you too. Please celebrate your independence with friends and family as we continue on the God to be our brother's keeper. Happy holiday when it comes, Doc. There you
Yes.
hear it.
All the best to you.
Thank you.
All the
You
best.
too. There you heard from Dr. Maul Bethan, who has been shared with us religiously week after week, days after days. I know that we're in the art of summer somewhat. We are still imploring and encouraging you to please continue to consume as much water that is possible. And nothing wrong if you're more into the fruits aspect. You can, of course, have your pine or your pineapple. You can also have your watermelon. All of those are definitely very good for rehydration, especially during this time of summer when it gets a little bit warm on the outside. You definitely want to keep your organs going and flowing in the right and correct way. And of course, let's see now if we're able to go on to Sir Simpson, who monthly and weekly again has been sharing with us different things that we need to be mindful of. And of course, we are in the summer, so we're going to hear what Sir Simpson has to say to us regarding. Good evening, Sir Simpson. How are you, sir?
Privilege. I'm doing well. And you and the listeners?
Awesome. Well, we are great. It is on. Earlier on my way to to location, it seems a bit overcast on the outside, so I'm not sure if by the time I'm through, if we might encounter any of the rain. But outside of that, it's a beautiful day. It's pretty much the first Monday in the wonderful of August.
And the
But
harder.
over to you, sir. Anything in mind? Anything that we need to be mindful
Yeah,
as you
it's
continue to
it's a must
encourage us?
because our community needs to understand that we are a part of what is happening in August. Uh, Saturday the first was Emancipation Day, British freedom, the freedom from slavery,
Right,
and Thursday coming, which is the 6th, is going to be Independence Day when Jamaica separated from the British. Now, as persons with disabilities, we have to take careful notice of these uh, uh, freedom
right,
days. You may wonder why I say that. I remember in 2014 when the Disabilities Act was passed, done in the 2017, yes, and a lot of us in the community were free from some from forms of discrimination, open discrimination,
right,
deliberate discrimination, ostracized, and the list continues. Good. So we have to coincide our freedom, our
right,
independence with how the slave have been freed from bondage, from discrimination, from giving hand me down, which is use unless or eat unless and those things. Good. To our to the independence of Jamaica when we sever ties with our a superpower of the time. Good. Now we are independent in the sense that we can go to any school, we can obtain employment anywhere, right, without having to worry about open, not my word, open discrimination. People praying for your eyes, people telling you this and telling you, oh, you can go and go to the council because they have goodies over there. You can no longer be told those things because you are free from those things because of the act that was put in place and ratified as a part of the Jamaican Constitution, like I said, from 2014, thereabout. Yes? So we are free and we are feeling free. And people should be empowered to the fact that there are those of us who get this thing done because we know that you were coming, we know that you're there. Good. And you will need certain kind of freedom in order to get along, in order to move about good without being told to stay home because the road not accessible on the side of your wheelchair can't go up there. No, we are free from those things. I realize in Jamaica buildings
Daniel, after that.
have had to be making modification to their structures now. That is how free and independent persons with disabilities are. Yes, Mr. Blake.
Right, absolutely, sir. I definitely agree with you. As you said, we're in the wonderful month of August,
Yeah.
and we have to continue to celebrate and not just celebrate, but be a part of what is happening
And
because there's
no,
nothing for us
and
without us,
don't
right?
exactly, and don't take it for granted. Be empowered and feel empowered. To
Right,
know and
right.
guess what, Mr. Blake? It is also important to appreciate what
Yes,
persons have done to ensure that we can be talking about today coinciding our freedom and independence, Jamaica's freedom and independence. It took us a long period of time to get it done. It was
right,
through
right.
a lot of embarrassment, a lot of pushback,
Oh,
a lot of
yes,
everything that we can talk about. Good.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
and
I
and
definitely agree.
yeah, and this is a great source of motivation for somebody in their community to say, listen, community to get up and say, look, I am going to do this. It doesn't matter what it takes, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I am going to advocate for this because I things that this community can do better in terms of putting certain basic necessities in place to accommodate, let's say, persons who use wheelchair. Then it can be done. Good, it can be done, and guys, let us do it. It is Emancipation and Independence Month, and let us go and get active in all the festivities that are associated with it. Hello?
Persons who are also living with disability to come on out, attend some of the event, the galas, wherever you're at in Jamaica,
Exactly.
beautiful land we love, because
Yeah.
multiple events and activities are happening. Last night, to be exact, we had a gospel fest right here in Sharp Square, and then this
Yeah.
Thursday we'll be also having Independence Day celebration, flags raising, and then a few persons will be giving, award based upon their resilience and all of that. And of course, JCDC, as we know, during this time, they too are normally having different types of activities right across the island, and various parishes will be having their fair share of their own type of gala in their way. But the
And
biggest one, as we know, is going to be the over
to
there in
feed the
Kingston.
food.
Right.
There were a lot of farmers markets and those things. Go out and get involved in those things, and let's
Right.
start looking forward and leave some of the negativity behind us. Let's enjoy the moment.
True, 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 true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And please wear your Jamaican colors or bring out your
Please.
flags or something to show that, you're a patriot towards your country and your
Exactly.
people.
And that you're contributing too to
Yes,
the organization.
absolutely,
Right?
absolutely. Because we have come a far way, in spite of the fight, the challenges, and what is happening now.
We
We
have.
have
We
come a
have.
far way. Our education system can now be compared, in my opinion. Let me put that out there with First World.
Of course. Of course. Of course. I know, I'm a living testament to that.
Right, right.
Because I obtained my degrees here in Jamaica. Uh,
Absolutely, right.
when I go to the states and have them evaluated by the states, they are equivalent to their degrees there. So yes, you are right. So we have a lot to feel good about, and we have a lot to talk about too. And let us speak
Yes.
and let us talk about them.
Absolutely. And another ministry that I really want to highlight, let me call it sports and culture. I'm hoping I'm somewhat correct because, truth to be told, I think recently we'd have all, been watching what we call the football. A lot of us love that. And I know very shortly, cricket and some of the other major games are coming up for the remaining of the summer. And I know very much that a lot of us as Jamaican, we are very patriotic when it touches sports. When you hear about football, running, and cricket, not saying the others are not, of certain importance, right, Sir Simpson?
Exactly. And to top it off, Mr. Blake, to add to what you're saying, remember, to all free we are now independent we are. We now have Special Olympics,
Right.
right? We now have Special Olympics, a worldwide recognized
True.
thing. We have
Right around the
our
world,
Olympic.
Jamaica is
Yeah.
recognized.
We have branches in Jamaica and all of that. Good.
Yes.
So we can make comparison between us and let me say the so-called able-bodied community.
Absolutely.
All right. Good.
Yes, indeed.
Uh,
Well, thank you very much, Sir
most
Simpson. As I
welcome,
said,
man.
Jamaica has definitely come a far way.
Yeah.
Our church has been a part of all of what was happening. And not only that, our culture, our sports, different activities that we would have participated in, our health system as
Yeah.
also comes a far way, and just different eras. I mean, look at our roads now. I mean, trust me, I can safely say in my days, I remember a few of the dirt tracks.
Yeah.
I don't know how many you
Yeah.
might remember that. I know we now have nice, pretty roads, and
Asphalt
we
and
can
building more too.
right.
Yeah. So development is happening, and guess what again, Mr. Blake? It is happening with us in the various
Exactly,
communities in Jamaica.
exactly.
So
And
that's
I'm
what's
not by
positive.
no means saying everything is perfect. Certainly not.
But well, it is
But
coming. That is
yes,
something I can applaud them for.
And another thing I want to give credit to is our financial system, the bank and all of that. Because imagine I can stay from here and, collect my money from someone who want to give me something wherever they're at in the world. And I don't necessarily probably have to go and join a line now or, do certain things
That's
because
true.
everything
And
is
it
now
was
online, right, sir?
yeah, you're right. And it was also through lobbying
Yes,
to
absolutely.
get the government to put braille on the money. A lot of first world countries don't have braille. America don't have that on their money.
Right.
Yeah. So again, we can be empowered by these things around us and find some happiness in what is happening around us.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
But thank you for Sir Simpson. But for persons who are listening, sir, how can they get a hold of you if in case they need some help somewhere, somehow? Sometimes medically, mentally, sometimes we have our fair share of challenges. Sometimes going through day-to-day life, we are faced literally daily with multiple challenges. How can persons make contact to you, sir?
So they can WhatsApp me on 876-279-3879. That's 279-3879. We're trying to work back in the number for them the straight call, but it's still
Right.
giving some issues. So for now, it's just 279-3879 WhatsApp.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
There you heard from Sir Simpson on the mentoring and upliftment corner. And of course, he was just highlighting and keeping, reiterating the importance of being independence, emancipation and independence as we go through the various celebration and galas that is happening right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. However, go nowhere. We are going to take a quick break. And just in case you're not sure which radio station you are listening to, it is called More 91.7, where we drive strong community energy, energy, energy. Don't touch that dial.
FM 91.7 on your dial.
Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers through the power of inclusion. We highlight the incredible abilities and achievements of the disabled throughout Jamaica through our extraordinary talent exposure, mentoring, and uplifting corner with your host Tracy-Ann Williams and the radical Robert Blake. This and every Monday at 5 to 6 p.m. on 491.7 FM. Call us at 876-610-8104. That's 876-610-8104. Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers.
Purchase.
Welcome back again. Just in case you're just joining us on Disability Beyond Border. Again, earlier on, we heard from Dr. Marla Beth and me, and then we heard from Sir Simpson. And of course, without any further ado, we're going to be chatting right along as we're able to see if we're locating Lawyer Williams, who will be sharing with us the Disability Act on me. What is it that you and I need to know about us as persons living with disability? Do we have a right? Yes, we do. But what is it that you know about the law? What is it that you know about the Disability Act? What is it that you know about the Disability Bill? Right now, let's see if we're able to hear from our lawyer. Good evening, lawyer. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you and your listeners, sir.
Thank you very much. You are live with us again, and happy independence and emancipation. And I do hope that you're getting a chance to go out with the family and celebrate.
Yes, indeed, I have got the opportunity to go out with the family and celebrate. And that's what independence is all about. Yeah?
Yes. And we have
Right.
come a far way, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. What do you have in store for us, especially those of us who are living with disability, especially now that a lot of things are changing in and around us?
Yes, well, let me just say how wonderful it is to speak about the disabilities of
Ah,
Jamaica. And
right.
primarily, I would like to speak about the Thursday, we will be having Independence Day, and it's all about disabusing our mind from mental slavery, disabusing
Yes.
our mind from those who we think are less able, you know, than us. The British men, they enslaved the slaves, and they were British plantation owners, and all they did was just to own slaves and own plantation. When the Disabilities Act speaks about emancipation as well, let us emancipate our mind from mental slavery. And the mental slavery I'm referring to are those who think that persons with disability are of no use, they have no caliber, they
Right.
are of no worth to the society. And so I want us to disabuse our mind from that. The disabilities speaks to discrimination. It speaks to allowing persons with disability to function and for persons to accept and recognize them as not only just human beings, but to treat them with respect, with decorum, and with every decency as human citizens. Persons with disability, they have the right, like anyone else in Jamaica under the Constitution. They have the right to vote. They have the right to work in the workplaces. They have the right to get promotions. So persons are not to um, use or to discriminate against persons with disability simply because they have a disability. They have the right to enter to colleges and universities and tertiary institutions. They also have the right to own houses. They also have the right to health insurance and life insurance. And this is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Emancipation. Emancipation in terms of freedom. Freedom to allow persons with disability to, to travel the world,
Right.
to climb the skies, to reach the galaxy. One of the things I want to say to persons, especially employers, is that under the Disabilities Act, it speaks to a situation where the act says very clearly that if any person enters into a contract with a disability person, and that contract is to make that disability person a lesser person, then that contract is going to be deemed null and void and of no effect. What am I saying? I'm saying that the Disabilities Act is very powerful. The Disabilities Act is is very, very functional. Anyone that contravenes or breaches the Disabilities Act, they are going to be in for a treat. Because the Act says if you treat anyone discriminatingly and you breach the provisions of the Act, then the law is going to take its force. What are the punishments? The punishments are that you can be liable, liable, liable for imprisonment. You can be imprisoned. You can be imprisoned. You can be fined. All right, so persons have to be very, very careful under the Disabilities Act.
Absolutely, Sir Williams. I absolutely agree with you 100%. And what we're saying for those who are just joining us on the Disability Act and me, what is it that you need to know as a person living with a disability, especially if you have an employer with an employee and you happen to be the employee versus the employer who should make some, applicable provision for you so their facility or their space is also accessible. And the word that we pretty much normally tends to use is inclusion. Over to you again, sir.
What did you say? What did you say on the last one?
Inclusion.
Yes,
Inclusion.
inclusion. And
Yes.
that's what the Act is saying. You have to include the persons with disability in every aspect. You
Yes.
know, right now there is a group of disabled persons who are playing a cricket championship in Ohio. I think it's either Ohio or Chicago. And we're talking about cricket.
Right.
Cricket. Now,
Yes.
yes, and that's cricket. And with cricket, you think about what cricket involves. You have to bowl that ball. You have to watch that Now,
Yes, we
let us
are.
look at technology. Let us look at technology. We have AI. Now, 15, 20 years ago, there was no AI as such, right?
Certainly, it was more like typewriter.
Just like more than typewriter, you know what I mean? Yes. So persons have to be just be careful. And when you look at the University of the West Indies, there are persons who are doing their first degree, persons who
Yes,
are doing their master's, and persons who are also doing their doctorate. What is the
yes,
point that we're all making? We are saying that persons with disability must focus on their ability and not on their disability. And we're asking persons in the working environment and the wider society to look at their abilities, not their disabilities. So it's very, very important that we take that into consideration. And finally, because it is emancipation, because it is independence, where Jamaica gained its freedom from Britain, gained its freedom from imperialism, we're saying to the world, we're saying to the nation, we're saying to everyone, right? Emancipate your minds from discriminating against
yes.
persons with disability. Okay? Because today you can be a person without disability, and all it takes is just one car accident, just one car accident, or your house is destroyed by fire, or someone just inadvertently make a mistake and it caught you, and you can get disabled person within the twinkling of an eye.
That is
So let us
true.
treat disability persons with the greatest respect at all times.
Well said, Sir Williams. If persons who are listening to you, sir, and they would love to use your service, how is it they are able to make contact with you, whether on the various platforms that do exist?
Yes, they can contact me. I'm listed in the yellow pages and the white pages. And my number is 876-473. That's 876-473-6275. And my email address is Anthony Usim Williams, USIM, WILLIAMS at gmail.com. That's Anthony dot Usim Williams, Gmail.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much, Sir Williams. And there you hear it, the contact information for Lawyer Williams. Again, I would certainly appreciate you, sir, and all the best for happy independence as we all go
Good.
out and celebrate and participate in the various activities and flag raising ceremonies that will be held and the different awards will be given out. All right. We are winding down slowly but surely. And of course, we are now coming up to an exciting afternoon where we have, guess what? A special another year of milestone and independence to our friends, our family, our listeners, wherever you are this afternoon, this evening, listen to us. And again, a big thank you to our engineer, the CEO, the staff, each and every one that has helped us to make this program be possible. We say adios and enjoy Independence Day, August the 6th. Shalom.